That warranty card looks like something a kid printed out in art class. And this scratch here? You clearly dropped these headphones, old man. We're not covering this. Absolutely not. If you believe everyone deserves to be treated with respect, not suspicion, type respect in the comments below. Arthur Miller stood at the customer service counter of Future Tech Electronics, a place usually buzzing with excitement over new gadgets. Today, however, the air felt cold and sharp. He was a man of 68 years, with a quiet way about him. His clothes were simple, a plain, neatly pressed shirt and comfortable trousers. His silver hair was combed back, and his eyes, though tired, held a calm light. He clutched a pair of expensive noise-cancelling headphones in one hand and a warranty card, along with a receipt, in the other. He had bought these headphones 6 months ago. They were a comfort, a shield against the ringing in his ears, a leftover echo from his younger days spent in loud, dangerous places he rarely spoke of. Now, one side of the headphones had gone silent, a frustrating defect in a product that promised quality. The young clerk, whose name tag read Chad, smirked, tapping a pen against the counter. He looked at Arthur as if he were a nuisance, a tiresome interruption to his day. Arthur took a slow breath. He was used to being overlooked, sometimes even dismissed. It was often the way for older folks, or for those who didn't dress in flashy clothes or speak with loud importance. "Son," Arthur said, his voice gentle but firm, "I assure you this warranty is genuine. It came with the headphones when I purchased them here, and I haven't dropped them. I take very good care of my things." Chad rolled his eyes dramatically, loud enough for the few other customers nearby to notice. "Right, that's what they all say. Look, policy is policy. Obvious user damage. No replacement, no repair under warranty." He pushed the headphones back towards Arthur with a dismissive flick of his wrist. "Could I please speak to your manager?" Arthur asked, his calmness a stark contrast to the clerk's rudeness. He wasn't looking for a fight, he just wanted what was fair. "Fine. Whatever." Chad sighed heavily and yelled over his shoulder, "Karen, got another one for you." He clearly enjoyed making a scene. A woman with a severe haircut and an even more severe expression marched towards the counter. Her name tag identified her as Karen, store manager. She didn't even look at Arthur initially, addressing Chad first. "What is it now, Chad? I'm busy with inventory." "This guy," Chad said, gesturing towards Arthur with his pen, "is trying to pull a fast one with these busted headphones and a bogus warranty." Karen finally turned her attention to Arthur, her eyes sweeping over him from head to toe, a flicker of judgment in her gaze. "Sir," she began, her tone already dripping with condescension, "my associate has explained our policy. If the item shows signs of misuse, which these clearly do," she glanced at the headphones without truly examining them, "then the warranty is void. We cannot help you." Arthur felt a familiar weariness settle over him. It was the feeling of being unheard, of being judged unfairly. He had faced far worse than a rude store manager in his life, but the injustice of it still pricked at him. "Ma'am," he said, holding her gaze steadily, "I understand you have policies. But I am telling you the truth. These headphones are defective, not damaged by me. I am a long-time customer of Future Tech. I simply want what I am entitled to under the warranty." "Entitled?" Karen's voice rose slightly. "People come in here all the time thinking they're entitled to free stuff. We have rules to protect the business from fraudulent claims. And frankly, sir, your story doesn't add up." She crossed her arms, a picture of unyielding authority. Other customers were now openly watching. An older lady looked sympathetic. A young couple pretended to browse a nearby display but were clearly listening. Arthur felt a flush of embarrassment, not for himself, but for the lack of simple decency. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone in a store or in a position of power who just wouldn't listen? Type, "I've been there" below, if you know this feeling. Arthur thought for a moment. He could argue. He could raise his voice. He could demand to speak to someone higher up, though Karen seemed to be the end of the line in this store. Or he could walk away, defeated, and absorb the cost of new headphones himself. It was not about the money, not really. It was about the principle. It was about respect. Then he remembered something. A small, almost forgotten gesture from a long time ago. A promise made. He reached into his back pocket and pulled out his old leather wallet. It was worn from years of use, holding faded pictures and important cards, Tucked into a seldom-used flap was a business card. It wasn't fancy, just plain white with simple black print. But the name on it, and the private number, were significant. He looked at Karen. "May I use your phone, please? Or perhaps you could direct me to a payphone if those still exist." His request was polite, almost hesitant. Karen scoffed. "We don't let customers use our phones for personal calls. And good luck finding a payphone. What are you going to do? Call your lawyer." She chuckled, a short, unpleasant sound. Chad snickered beside her. "No," Arthur said softly. "Not my lawyer." He turned and walked slowly towards the entrance of the store. He would use his own cell phone, the simple one he kept for emergencies. He stepped outside into the brighter light of the mall corridor, the noise of the store fading slightly behind him. He found the number on the card and dialed. It rang twice. A deep, calm voice answered. "Thompson." "Mr. Thompson," Arthur said, his voice steady. "This is Arthur Miller. I hope I'm not disturbing you." There was a slight pause, then recognition. "Arthur, not at all. It's been too long. What can I do for you, my friend? Is everything all right?" The warmth in the voice was genuine, a stark contrast to the coldness he'd just faced. "I'm actually at your Future Tech store in Oakwood Mall," Arthur explained. "I'm having a bit of trouble with a warranty claim on some headphones." He briefly, factually, explained the situation without anger or exaggeration. He just stated what happened. "Oakwood, you say?" Mr. Thompson's voice had a new edge to it, a sharpness. "And they're refusing a valid warranty for Arthur Miller? Stay right where you are, Arthur. Don't move. I'll handle this. Someone will be with you in, let's say, less than 10 minutes. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson," Arthur said. "I appreciate it." "Nonsense, Arthur. We take care of our own. You just wait there." The line clicked off. Arthur put his phone back in his pocket. He stood quietly by the store entrance, watching the shoppers go by. He wasn't sure what would happen, but he trusted Mr. Thompson. They went way back to a time when they both wore different uniforms, in a place far from any shopping mall. Inside FutureTech, Karen was congratulating Chad on handling the situation. "See, stand firm and they eventually give up," she said, a smug smile on her face. "Some people will try anything." Less than 5 minutes passed. The main store phone at the customer service desk began to ring. It was an urgent, insistent sound. A junior employee answered it, listened for a moment, her eyes widening. She stammered, "Yes, sir. Yes, he's here. I mean, the manager. Yes, right away." She looked at Karen, her face pale. "Ma'am, it's the regional manager. He wants to speak to you. Now. He sounds very upset." Karen's smugness faltered. The regional manager rarely called and never sounded upset. All right, she said, trying to maintain her composure as she took the phone. "This is Karen speaking." Her side of the conversation was mostly, "Yes, sir," and "I understand, sir," and "But, sir." Her face went from confident to confused to visibly alarmed. Her voice grew higher with each response. She kept glancing towards the store entrance, where Arthur stood patiently. While she was still on the phone, her expression growing more horrified by the second, the automatic doors of FutureTech slid open with a whoosh, but it wasn't a customer. 3 people in sharp business suits strode in, looking around with serious expressions. They moved with an air of urgency and authority that made everyone in the store stop what they were doing. Shoppers paused their browsing. Employees froze mid-sentence. Leading them was a distinguished man with silver hair, radiating an aura of command. This was Mr. Thompson, the CEO of FutureTech Global, though no one in this particular store, except soon Arthur, would know it by just looking at him. He scanned the store, his eyes quickly finding Arthur. If you think people who abuse their power should always face the consequences, type accountability below. Karen was still on the phone, her back to the entrance, her voice now a strained squeak. But he seemed, "I didn't realize, no one told me." Mr. Thompson walked directly to Arthur, a warm smile spreading across his face. He extended his hand. "Arthur, my dear friend, I am so incredibly sorry you had to deal with this nonsense." His voice, though not loud, carried through the now silent store. Arthur shook his hand. "Mr. Thompson, thank you for coming. It's good to see you." Karen, hearing the CEO's voice, finally hung up the phone with a trembling hand and turned around. Her jaw dropped. She recognized Mr. Thompson from corporate newsletters and the company website. The CEO. Here, in her store, talking to the old man she had just dismissed so rudely. Her face turned ashen. Chad, who had been watching with growing unease, looked like he wanted the floor to swallow him. "Karen, is it?" Mr. Thompson said, his smile vanishing as he turned to her. His voice was dangerously calm. "Perhaps you can explain to me why one of this company's most valued customers, and a decorated national hero, I might add, was treated so disrespectfully in your store." Karen stammered. "Mr. Thompson, sir, I had no idea. He didn't say." "He didn't say?" Mr. Thompson's eyebrows rose. "Does a customer need to present a resume of their life's achievements to be treated with basic courtesy and fairness at FutureTech? Does he need to announce he personally knows the CEO to have a valid warranty honored? Is that our company policy now?" The silence in the store was thick enough to cut with a knife. Every eye was on Karen, then on Arthur, then on the powerful man who had just turned their ordinary afternoon upside down. "This man, Arthur Miller," Mr. Thompson continued, his voice resonating with controlled anger, "served this country with distinction for over 30 years. He has medals for bravery that would make you weep. He has faced dangers you cannot even imagine. Also, people like you and I can live freely and run businesses. And he comes into a store, one of my stores, and is treated like a liar and a cheat over a simple pair of headphones." He paused, letting his words sink in. The headphones, by the way, which were a personal gift from me, from a batch we knew had a slight manufacturing risk in one component. Hence the extended personal warranty I assured him would be honored anywhere, no questions asked. He looked at the warranty card Arthur still held. "This isn't something a kid made, as your charming associate put it. This is my personal guarantee." Chad looked physically ill. Karen seemed to shrink under the CEO's gaze. "I believe," Mr. Thompson said, turning his attention back to Arthur with a warmer tone, "you are owed several things. First, a new pair of headphones, the best we have. No, 2 pairs, for your trouble. Second, a full, sincere apology. And third," his eyes hardened as he looked back at Karen and Chad, "assurances that this kind of disgraceful behavior will never happen again in any FutureTech store." One of Mr. Thompson's aides quickly procured 2 brand new boxes of the latest, most advanced noise-cancelling headphones. Another aide presented Arthur with a substantial gift card for the store. Karen stepped forward, her face flushed with shame. "Mr. Miller," she said, her voice barely a whisper, "I am so sorry. I was wrong, terribly wrong. There's no excuse for how I treated you, or for how my staff member treated you. I deeply apologize." Chad, prodded by a sharp look from one of Thompson's aides, mumbled his own apology, his earlier arrogance completely gone. "Yeah, sorry, Mr. Miller, my bad." Mr. Thompson addressed his aides. "Ensure Mr. Miller receives a lifetime discount at all FutureTech locations. And arrange for immediate retraining for all staff at this branch on customer service, ethics and respect. Particularly," he added, his gaze resting on Karen and Chad, "on not judging customers by their appearance or making baseless accusations. Some individuals here might need more intensive retraining. Or perhaps a career change." The implication was clear. The other customers who had witnessed the whole drama started to applaud softly. The older lady who had looked sympathetic earlier now beamed at Arthur. Arthur, ever humble, simply nodded. "Thank you, Mr. Thompson, that's very generous." He accepted the headphones and the gift card. "And I accept your apology," he said to Karen, then to Chad. He wasn't one to hold a grudge, but he believed in lessons learned. Mr. Thompson put a hand on Arthur's shoulder. "The pleasure is all mine, Arthur. It's the least we can do. Now, how about we get out of here and I buy you lunch? We have a lot of catching up to do." As they walked out, leaving a stunned store and 2 very worried employees behind, the regional manager, who had arrived with the CEO's party, began the process of addressing the failures in leadership and service at the Oakwood branch. Changes were immediate. Karen was suspended pending a full review, and Chad was told his position was under serious reconsideration. New training modules focusing on respect for all customers, especially veterans, were fast-tracked for company-wide implementation. News of what happened spread, not as a scandal, but as a story of how a company, when alerted to a failure at one branch, took swift and decisive action to make things right. It became a lesson in humility for some, and a reaffirmation for others that quiet strength and past deeds can sometimes command unexpected, powerful support. Arthur enjoyed his lunch with his old friend. He didn't dwell on the unpleasantness. He was just glad it was resolved, not just for him, but for anyone else who might have been unfairly dismissed. He later gifted one of the new pairs of headphones to a young patient at the local veterans hospital he volunteered at, someone whose old radio was broken. This story reminds us that true worth isn't always loud or flashy. It reminds us not to judge a book by its cover, because you never know the incredible story hidden within the pages of a quiet life. Heroes walk among us every day, often unnoticed until a moment calls for their hidden strength, or the loyalty of those who remember their sacrifices, to shine through. If you believe that veterans and all people deserve our utmost respect and fair treatment, please subscribe to this channel for more stories that uplift and inspire. Remember to treat everyone with kindness. You never know who you are talking to.